I think y'all had decided the idea was you were going to go talk to also the seneschal.
Hmm.
I think that was the
Yeah, we're gonna try to make good on being positive role models for the community for, I guess, a month or so, and then try
Yeah.
to kind of naturally gather or naturally warrant some kind of audience at a certain point. I think that was our goal. I think.
okay. Okay. So I was imagining like y'all were gonna wake up the next morning and march to also and have a talk with him. But so you're saying you just like get up the next morning and you're like, oh, we got poisoned last night. Let's go back to subtle infiltration.
Yeah. I think what would be best is subtle infiltration, but watching our fucking backs now that we know what the hell's going on.
Okay.
Yeah. And I haven't even caught those guys yet, have I?
No, 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 no. Those Singe and Bobo still on the loose.
Have I made any headway on Sinja Bobo?
Hate those guys.
Yeah, I hadn't looked at it from that angle. I forgot that that was the thing. I was preparing for a completely different situation today. Um,
I mean, we could go up and talk to them if that's what y'all want to do, or do y'all want to finish off and like maybe try to find get down to the bottom of this ourselves?
I have to recalculate or recalibrate a little bit. I'm not telling you you should do something or other, but if we are doing subtle infiltration, I'll need to think about it for a minute. And
Well, I think the last thing one of us did was spoke to the dragon mentally, right?
yes, I remember
Let
a conversation. I think that was early on. It was either after you'd been freed
Well,
from the
yeah.
gallows.
Hmm.
It was after. It was like in the first day or two after the gallows. I think you talked to the dragon.
Yeah, he told me to be basically on my toes with who I trust.
Okay.
right.
Okay. So, question is, we're going to. This would be the point at which characters are kind of branching off and going off on their own to do their daily chores. Um, do we want to handle it like as in little solo sessions, or should we summarize? How do you guys want to do this?
We can summarize.
Yeah,
Summarize.
summarizing's fine.
Okay. Okay. If that is the case, let me start with Icky, who is on the trail of Bobo and Singe, and he's going to be frequenting the places that are easiest to get to. And let's just go through that real quick. Let's just figure out how you go from how do you get from anywhere to anywhere around here. I think that most people go out onto the roof, and then from the roof there is a way to climb down onto another section of wall. And let me see if I can find it. I think it's something like this. I think that yeah, no, it's more like yeah. I think you come up out of this tower, and then there's a rope and grappling hook that comes down to this rooftop here, and then from there they can drop down to the ground here, and there's a door here for this portal. So those that have keys can then use a key into that door to get to wherever they're going. Otherwise, if you don't have keys, and do you guys don't you have one key?
We
No,
have
the key
we,
maker wouldn't give them to us because remember I tried taking them out of that chest.
Uh,
Key maker was like, no, mine. So
yeah we
like
have
that's what we were going to be working with through our month. At least get freaking keys to our quarters.
okay. You guys, are you sure about that? I kind of swore that there was a key that you tried to
There
give
was
back.
two of
there were a
Jet.
few keys, but I think the dwarf grabbed them.
No, we had to put them
No.
back in the chest because the dragon told us to
That's
put them back
right.
in the chest.
Yeah, yeah.
Because stealing's bad. That's right.
I
We
thought
have
y'all
two
got one from.
swords between the four of us. I have one. I think Balthazar has one.
No, I think Icky's gonna know.
I thought that you guys had a key that belonged to Tigard, the guard
That's
that hangs
the-
out with the dragon.
That's the
That's the one the dragon told us to put back.
No, I thought
No.
the ones he told you to
No,
put back
I had
were the
it. Key 275 from room 275.
Yeah.
Oh.
I gave it back to the key maker.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh no. Dragon said it was something was mine now. I think
You got the ward stone. He let you keep the ward stone.
he gave me a
That's
ward
the
stone
thing
and he
that he
let
told
somebody
you.
else keep the ward stone.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gave the key to the key maker.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
I'm the only one without a ward stone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
That's
in that case, for you guys to get to anywhere, you instead have to climb down the other side of the tower here onto a small section of wall between this tower and another tower just like it. And from there you can get down into the main courtyard. This one. You guys come down into the main courtyard back here somewhere. Normally, climbing and flying is looked down upon and is outlawed in some cases until you've become sort of a regular. And at this point, you guys, the dragon doesn't mind to see you guys climbing down a rope from this tower in the mornings because he knows that's just how you got to go to get to your chores or whatever. I'm thinking he assumes that you guys have found some kind of occupations here in the grounds, and so he kind of looks the other way along with everybody else that has to do the same. And then from there you guys can get to the tavern easily. There's a door in the tavern that can be used with keys. Still don't have keys. So I guess at some point you're still kind of having to go peek your head into portals somewhere to see if you can get from one place to another. Which of course means that you can get into trouble easily, but I'm guessing you guys are playing a little bit more careful since you're going off by yourselves to do things. And then, of course, you can also meet up with other servants at the tavern in the morning who do have keys, and you can just kind of hitch up with them and follow them to their chores.
Well, the key maker lives with us, so that's what I figured you would do.
Yes, he has.
He lives in the same quarters, and so I figured we'd just be like, "Hey, key maker, if he's there."
Yeah, and
wake up around the same time he does.
Not to too many places. One of the ways this place seems to be structured is that servants have keys that mainly they can go from their quarters to wherever they work at that day. And that kind of keeps them out of trouble because most people don't want to go poking their heads into portals, into rooms they've never been into before because lots of servants come up missing here. You'll find out quickly that there's sort of a rotating cast of goblins and orcs that come through. Not too many of them last too long. They're dumb. They don't follow orders very well. They go off into some portal and no one ever sees them again. Their ranks are replaced rather quickly by either strays coming in from somewhere in some just random part of the palace, and a lot of them come here bringing tribute. It seems that the most of the ranks that bring the tribute chains that come here are usually under the control of demi-humans, and occasionally humans, dwarves, and elves. So with Icky trying to track down Bobo and Singe, imagine he's probably just hanging out in the courtyard a lot, catching cross traffic, gossip in the tavern, that sort of thing. I think over the next couple of weeks, Bobo and Singe may be laying low because nobody hears much from them, and begins to become assumed that they've probably met their fate somewhere in some random chamber they weren't supposed to go tiptoeing off into. I think that'll probably start to be the fizzling out of the Bobo and Singe crisis. Balthazar is trying to recover a spool of thread.
Yes.
Okay. And so he'll be trying to meet up with someone who can get him back to that. What was it? It was the loom chamber. Wasn't that where all that was left behind?
Oh no. So all our stuff got taken away when we got captured that first time, and they spread all our stuff out, and we had to hunt down anything we wanted back.
And you're trying to get that giant. It was a basketball-sized spool of thread, I believe.
Oh no, it was just a regular spool of thread. It just never ran out.
It just never ran out. Okay.
Was it a token?
What do you mean?
Or a trinket, not a token?
Yeah, it was a trinket that I showed up with, and I'd like it back. It's important to me.
I see. I don't even remember that spool. Was it actually found in this chapter?
No. I brought that with me.
You brought that with you. I see. Okay. I'll tell you what I should do is probably just go slow this down a little bit since you guys are slowed down, and try to start introducing as many of the common NPCs as I can so they'll start to become familiar to you. There's a guard named Mosar whose job it is to guard the main hall of the Overseer's Hall, where the Seneschal Oso stays. He's that older guard. I think you guys remember him from that room. He likes to come to the tavern a lot, so you'll see him a good bit. Every now and then you'll see Joffe, the stable keeper boy. He'll bring the steeds out. He sometimes walks the Pegasus and his favorite mare out the courtyard. And there's all the tavern regulars. Let's see. Yes, there's all the tavern regulars. I don't think I'm going to bother mentioning any of those. There's that one old knife thrower dude who's always in the tavern, usually entertaining people with throwing daggers. There is... one day, you catch sight of a halfling Balthazar that you've never seen before, making his way across the courtyard. That one seems to be a stranger to you. Do you guys continue to eat at the feast hall, Undercroft Feast Hall, after being poisoned?
I guess I could be a taster for him.
What's that?
I guess I could be a taster for him. Make sure it's not poisonous.
Okay. Like in the feast hall for everyone, or just for the party?
Just for the party.
I see. Okay. Okay, good deal. Well, in the feast hall, that's where you'll encounter most of the demi-humans at. There's an old bugbear who's the meat tenderizer in the kitchens. His name is Grundle. They sometimes call him Special Meats. He's sort of a dark, moody bugbear with a long stare in his eyes. You find out none of you have seen it yet, but you find out that there's actually an apothecary here that some of the servants use occasionally if they have any ills, and it is attended by a ghost of Moshik, is what they all refer to him as. They said it is not the wizard himself, but something like a spectral form of him that offers assistance using the herbs and poultices in the apothecary. Too many goblins to keep up with. There's a gambling den somewhere here you've heard about that some of the hobgoblins like to go frequent. Games of chance. Of course, there's the old Etten that turns the grist mill. Few see him, but a handful of goblins are charged with going and collecting fresh ground grains to make bread with. There's a baker, of course, somewhere here too. And then there's the old smith, Adonius, that the dwarf knew. He's not been seen much lately and doesn't frequent the tavern much anymore either. And I think there's probably a few that are concerned about him. Let me see if there's any more. Oh, and then there's the sort of the head of the militia down here in the servant quarters. There's two hobgoblins and one Anauroch, which seem to be the strongest of the demi-human packs. Skrank, the Anauroch, is usually the one in charge, but as you guys have gathered, there's not necessarily a clear hierarchy, and it can sometimes come down to a test of strength between the three of them to see who will be in charge for matters that require martial support. Those guys, occasionally, you might have seen them once in the Undercroft Feast Hall. They seem to keep to themselves, or possibly enjoy some more exclusive quality of life down here than some of the other orcs and Aurochs do. There's a legend of an old dragon slayer that was once the king's best guard, best warrior. He's deceased now. There's an ogre named Balzac, who's usually in charge of the goblins who watch over that courtyard where all your arrows and staves turn into snakes. He's the in charge of the barbican that overlooks that courtyard.
So he probably sees me pretty frequently.
Are you going to that courtyard then? Because that's a
meditation courtyard.
That's where I meditate now.
Oh, right. You go there and meditate. Yes. Yeah. He probably has seen you quite often, more than you see him, definitely, because he doesn't always show up to the Undercroft Feast Hall like some of the other ranks do. As a matter of fact, you hear that some of these higher echelon martial types, like Balzac and Skrank and all of these kind of tough guy orcs and warrogs and stuff, all have a secret meeting place somewhere in the servant quarters. Of course. Oh, and yes, of course. Leopold probably still goes and sees Luza when he can.
Yes, for sure. I see Luz in the buttery and Ruby in the bakery. And I'm still trying to find that pantry 262 with sugar and the ice house 227 so I can try to make ice cream.
Gotcha. I'll go ahead and show you real quick how to get to both of those two people from the courtyard. Little tricky, but in between these two towers here, is the arch of the top of this roof here, the steeple of this roof. Yep. There is basically an old shingle flap that Leo can get into her attic through. So he has to do this whole route where he finds a way up to one of the tops of these towers or up onto this rooftop here, climbs over nearly to the other side of it. Actually on the other side of the eave, and then lifts this old shingle flap, and he can drop down into the attic to talk to Luza. Luza, of course, treats him very fondly. She likes Leopold. They have formed a good relationship since he's been here. And then to get to Ruby is a little bit trickier, but let me see if I can get to that real quick. Hope you guys don't find this too boring, but I figured it'd be good for your characters to kind of get an idea of how to get around, since that's what they're going to be doing a lot of. Okay, so here's you guys' barracks tower that you come up out of in the mornings. That is Ruby's bakery window right there. And as a matter of fact, you probably have figured out that the Velocindeme and Ruby sort of have a special relationship. He has a kindness that he shows to Ruby that he doesn't show to anyone else here. And often, sometime mid-morning, when she gets the ovens fired up in her bakery and the scent of her delicious sweets and breads start coming out that window, the dragon will fly over and perch here on this balcony to appreciate the smell. He doesn't really eat breads and pastries, but he likes the smell and he likes Ruby, and so they'll have a little mid-morning talk here outside the window.
Anytime I'm around during that, I'll not interrupt, but I'll try to like kind of get close and like insinuate myself kind of into the group, but not participate, and just kind of be there. The dragon's used to kind of seeing my face.
That's fair enough. They are
Balthazar tries to greet Velocindine every morning mentally. Just send him a quick howdy howdy.
Okay.
In his brain.
Since everybody is privy to everyone's individual searches, I'm going to assume that at night when you guys gather in the barracks, you kind of share, what you did that day, so everybody's on the same page as far as the goings on here.
Yeah,
definitely.
I definitely would have tried to help gather rumors about Singe and Bobo to help out, since I have a personal gripe or a grudge to settle against them as well.
Yeah. There's also a midwife here. There's a couple of servants that are in charge of taking care of some of the children of the servant quarters. Because the place is such a rough place, the children are well guarded, so you never see them. So neither do you see the midwife. But you do know that there is a chamber here somewhere where the children get their their lessons and whatnot. Of course, underneath Velocindine's tower is off limits. He supposedly has a private lair down there somewhere. Dirk and Tidia haven't been heard from in a while since they moved into their new chamber. There's a dark chamber that no light can penetrate, that is haunted by a ghost of an old servant. And, you get the feeling like this place has seen some tumultuous history in the past, because there's definitely conversations that some of the servants will just cut short and say, we don't talk about that. And it seems to go back to mention of older servants that you've never seen before or heard of before. Let's see if I can throw any names of them at you. Yeah, I'm not going to say. If you never catch the names, these conversations are usually very private. You might interrupt one and it goes no further than that. There's a barracks full of goblins with a few orcs in it. They seem to have their own set of quarters. Gremlin infestation's been taken care of. Oh, those gremlins there's been a few gremlin sightings since you drove them away. So they're still active around here somewhere. Of course, there's the ever-elusive half-orc laundress Halabusa, whom everyone claims. So you either go to the apothecary if you get the sniffles, or you go to Halabusa because she's like some kind of healer woman who makes salves and ointments. And there's a cobbler named Affin Shoemaker. You'll run into him a few times. Of course, you find out a little bit more about Tigard, too. Tigard was once in the upper main keep and was a guard to the throne of the king and to the affairs of the upper court. But his drunkard ways basically got him kicked out of the main keep, and now he has to serve as that petty guard who ends up hanging out with Velocindine most of the day on his little tower or wall perch where you guys first encountered him. Velocendeem ribs him about not drinking too much. He's supposed to be cutting down on his drinking, but the rumors are that he has a secret hooch connection somewhere in the keep. There's an old mint that no one ever uses anymore. Of course, there's Ruby the baker. We've already covered her. There's Paulston and Neb, the key makers. You guys talk to them every day, of course, because they share the bunk with you. There's a couple of brewers who have the reputation of being both incompetent. Well, I'm sorry, one of them is incompetent, and the other one is a master brewer, but you have yet to see them. The carpenter is only known by that name, the carpenter. He's a mysterious guy who replaced the last carpenter. He's an outsider who took up his position here, and he never talks to anyone. And sometimes he's seen in chambers he shouldn't be in, or the chambers that no one goes in, by other servants who might have happened to stumbled into a chamber on accident, and they see the carpenter like leaving through another portal or something. He's got a sort of a mysterious reputation. There's a tanner named Mishal who's supposedly in debt to some of the hobgoblins down in the gambling den. He's a human. Oh, there's wyverns, of course. I don't know if you guys have encountered the wyverns yet. I feel like we've had an encounter.
We had to run in with one of them.
Okay.
That started this whole mess.
Velocendeem keeps many, I think 5 or more wyverns patrolling the skies around the keep. They are all somehow they're submissive to him, and to no one else really. They are probably next to him the most potent guardians of the keep, except for a pack of manticores which supposedly dwell on the roof of the main keep, but usually you don't catch a glimpse of them when you can see the roof of the main keep through the clouds. Have we covered it all? There's 2 giants. Actually, that's probably pretty well known. There's 2 giants that live in the attic, the loft over the Seneschal's main hall. They have insatiable appetites, and many of the goblins here spend their time scurrying about the palace trying to find food for them. As a matter of fact, a lot of the food that comes here from outside is just fed to these 2 giants who just seem to have bottomless bellies. They get pretty angry and can throw stones out the window, so that's something to watch out for if you're towards the what would be the southeastern towers. It's basically south of the wall you guys are on. I'll go ahead and show you where I'm talking about. So this tower, and this tower, pretty much no-go zones, and Leopold has to be careful since he's crawling up over this rooftop to get to Luza, because the giants live up here in this attic loft here, and they've been known to throw stones at servants if they're spotted on these rooftops over in this area. The 2 giants, I think, they're kind of like tribute. They're kind of like they were given to the king as tribute, but now they've become sort of a liability because of how much they eat. I think that's about the gist of it. That's what you guys can gather in a month. A month of getting used to this place, keeping up with the goings-ons, catching up on all the gossip. That's it. Everything I just told you. As far as recollecting some of your lost gear, I think the spool of thread is doable because it probably just got stuck back into that into that loom chamber, and so a servant can fetch it and bring it back and give it back to Balthazar. So he gets his thread back.
Cool. I wanted to run a secondary kind of thing during that month as well. Between the goblins and the gambling. Well, basically, I wanted to befriend Mosar and Tigrid a little bit to see if I could kind of talk to the three hobgoblins in the militia to try to get to the gambling den to see if we could raise a little money.
Okay.
Because one of the ways out of here, I think, was to buy our way to the next thing. So, keeping the eye on the prize, I'm going to see if there's a way for some alternate income for us.
Okay. Tigard he's not supposed to be going around the tavern or the Undercroft Feast Hall because of the temptation for him to get a little too drunk. So he's not much help. But Mosar will probably tell you, and he's not too familiar with this place either. He's not a gambler. But he'll tell you a contact to ask in the feast hall. And it turns out to be... He says, I would ask that ogre Grumbeer, who spends his time down in the Undercroft Feast Hall. I believe he knows how those hobgoblins get to the gambling den.
Yes. I remember him. I was thrown into him by none other than Bobo. Hopefully he won't remember me, and we'll have a nice first introduction.
Okay. So let's take the game to there. And tonight, Icky has sampled the food for everyone to make sure it's safe. Had a few drinks. The usuals are gathered around the big open hearth in the middle, ribbing each other, sloshing beer around, and Grumbeer is there, contending with a couple of others for the most feared figure in the place. And so you decide to approach him.
Yes, I will try to approach him cautiously at first to see if he recognizes me outright, and if he doesn't have that look of recognition, I'll go up to try to kind of introduce myself.
All right, let's test out an ogre's intelligence. Let's see if he remembers you.
Ooh.
He does. Oh, I remember you, the 8.5-foot tall, hunched over ogre says, and kind of swats you with the back of his hand to your chest, knocking you back a few feet. You're the little kitty cat that got thrown into me.
Good catch. Great catch. Well, great to see you again, sir. I was hoping we didn't get off on the wrong foot originally and that we could become friends.
Grumbeer's got many friends. He looks around. He says, right, friend? To one of the orcs who's standing by, and the orc raises his mug up. Arr. Give me a charisma save.
All right. 16.
Looks good. But I could always use another. And he throws his big arm around you and pulls you in tight.
I grab some random, two random mugs off the table as he pulls me in, and I hand one off to him and start drinking one as he pulls me in, and I kind of laugh and go along with whatever he does in the first couple seconds there.
Yeah, they're talking about going and finding their friends. They're supposed to be dividing up a chicken right now to eat by themselves. He and a couple of other orcs are.
I kind of try to give Grumbeer a little sample, mostly melted and slushy, of the ice cream that I'm starting to try to perfect.
Okay.
I tell him there's going to be it'll be much colder when I get it right. But wanted you to be the first to enjoy this, my new friend.
Milk paste. He scoops up a big handful and slaps it in his maw.
Milk paste. We'll work on the name, but yes, milk paste will be the working name for it.
So you slip in that you're trying to find the gambling den.
Yeah, as he's I kind of realize they probably don't want me involved with the chicken situation, so I try to allude to the fact that they could get rid of me if they point me in the right direction of the gambling, because I'm not too hungry and I don't want to take away their meal.
Okay.
Oh, big appetite.
If you look real close in the picture for this chamber, you'll see this kind of half-naked female standing there standing by this warrior. She's right there. She is a half-orc, and she carries a great sword. She doesn't bother to keep it sheathed. She just kind of walks around with it. She struts over next to you and curls her finger underneath your chin and says, "Tell me, kitty cat, what would you pay to find this room?"
Well, depends on what you're looking for, milady. I have a little bit of coin, but, well, I have the most wonderful coffee that I can make you at your request, and also what Grumbeer is starting to dub milk paste. But I think I'll call it something else. It's quite delicious and sweet. I kind of like show her some, but don't offer it because it's all melted now.
Okay, she's going to cut to the chase. She's only interested in your shinies.
Yes. Well, I have shinies, and I produce. I just kind of hold a platinum piece up to start to see if that catches her eye at all, or if it's not impressive.
2 would do the trick.
I look at her.
2 platinums.
Yeah, I kind of look at her begrudgingly, but I think I can manage. I reach deep down in my pockets and fiddle around for a little bit and say, here it is. Yes. Well, I won't have much to gamble with after this, but hopefully I'll be able to make it up.
All right, follow me, she says, and she starts to strut over towards this back corner. I just came from there. And she'll lead you to that portal and stick one hand halfway into it as she gestures the way for you to head.
Yep, and I'll follow trustingly.
Rest of the party following?
Yeah, if he's going through,
Sure.
I'm going to have his back.
Sure.
Come on. I kind of like jingle my coin purse.
Okay.
I think that's to be made.
All right. Let me find it.
I'm going to mentally whisper to Icky, what are the odds that she's actually taking us where we want to go?
You know what? Can I actually roll for insight to see? Maybe she's lying to us.
You absolutely can roll for insight.
Well,
Nat
I was
20.
going to say, can I help him? But
Nice.
obviously it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's a hella roll, isn't it? Yeah, no, she doesn't seem very trustworthy, but in this instance, her nonchalant attitude seems to suggest that she's really not that worried about pulling a fast one over on you.
I think she'll take us to the right place.
There we go. So you guys head through.
Kind of like whisper to the party. Of course, she wouldn't dare take advantage of us here with velocity in looking over our shoulders.
Okay, this small room looks to be a lounge for slacking servants. A pair of hobgoblins point fingers and threaten violence to one another over a card game. The others in the chamber, a cat, a goblin, and a seated human, pay them little mind. The hobgoblins are arguing with each other in hobgoblin, so I don't know if anybody speaks that or not.
No.
Okay. The other one gets even angrier. Back at him. You guys walked in right behind them. If you want to toss some tokens in there.
Yep.
Okay, so they turn and see you guys stumble in or come in behind them, and the other one says one last thing, a little bit calmer to his companion, and then they both look at you, 2 or 3. I guess there's a third one of you in here somewhere. Come for a game of chance, one of them says in common.
Yes.
There's an entry fee.
How much?
Man, he looks all 3 of you over. 10 gold pieces each.
I pull out a platinum. Say, here's mine.
I'll pop out a platinum too.
All right. All right. So 3 platinums. The 2 of them collect from the 3 of you. Then they start to argue over how to split the 3rd platinum. This will probably consume the 2 of them for the time being, as they try to figure out how to make change out of a platinum coin with their paltry piles of coins they have already.
There you go, DM.
I see.
You say there's a cat on the bench right there?
That is a cat on the bench, sleeping
Kinda like
through all this.
Snicker a little bit, and I look at him, and I'm like, "Look, there's your friend."
Do you think they're related?
I look down, I'm like, I wonder if they keep monkeys around here and goats. Kinda look at it standoffishly like it's an embarrassment.
I elbow him in the ribs, show him we're kidding.
Oh yeah, they've got to. That's right. The 2 hobgoblins have to get their change back from the goblin in the chamber. He sort of acts like the house bank. So he pulls his cap off and pulls out the 10 gold pieces he's been holding for him and puts it on the table. And even with 10 gold pieces and a platinum, they still can't figure out how to split the coins between them. So they'll be tied up for a minute figuring that out amongst each other.
On that table, is that a deck of cards or another game of some sort?
Yeah, so it is, I believe that is cards and dice on the table.
Right. I have proficiency with playing cards.
All right.
I have proficiency in dice set.
And I'm telekinetic, so so my mage hand is without verbal or somatic components, and it's invisible. And I'm also able to speak directly into my friends' minds, so I can help tip things in the right direction.
Okay.
So you want to cheat, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, so the cabinet. Okay, so what are you guys doing? Are you guys about to start running a game here for these hobgoblins?
I'll pick up the cards and start shuffling them and kind of keep my eye on them as though I'm waiting for them to finish so we can begin our game.
Okay. All right. It might require one of you to help them. They keep on like going 6 and 4 with the gold pieces, and then disagreeing over.
He
how
comes
that goes.
over there and helps them. Since I pulled out the standard exchange rates. for you. Icky will be the one that goes over there and be like, it takes 10 gold per platinum.
All right. So you sort that all out. They split up the money they shoot you guys down for finally, and then realize that Leopold has already got the deck of cards and is ready to start up another game. So, are you guys going to use your advantage here on these guys, or is this gonna? Are we running a scam on these two? Is that the plan?
Definitely not the first time. We're not trying to win too big, because if we win too big, they're not going to let us come back.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then I pick up the dice set, and I'm like, anybody want to play with me while y'all play cards?
What games are you running? You ask.
Craps.
All right. One of them will slam a gold piece down. This is go.
So you want me to just throw gold or throw pieces or throw
Yeah, actually,
2d6s, or how do you want to apply my proficiency bonus if you're?
Oh yeah, okay. You're actually doing it, running the scam here. Then in that case, just run. Yeah, treat it like a proficiency check.
Can you have advantage since I'm trying to help him out a little bit?
Okay. Yes. So a fair game would be an 11.
I don't know.
A fair game would be an 11 DC, I believe. Craps is mostly it's pretty fair odds.
All right, so 20.
Yeah, yep. But if he's got a mage hand, well, that's what we're using to do advantage with. Yep. So that's all you got to do. Yeah, is it would be an 11 better, but then would you make it? Yeah, so it's probably really like an 8 or better on advantage. So you can easily run this scam on these guys. They'll line up and put up another gold, a little frustrated that they lost the last one, and then another gold, and then another gold, until you've got like 6 or 7 gold pieces from them. They're starting to get a little frustrated.
And that's when I make sure that we at least lose one.
And so the goblin will nudge the figure that's squat down over in the corner of the chamber and say, "The dice are hot. You should jump in now. You can pay off your debt." And so the human sitting there in the corner, sort of downtrodden, says, "I don't know. I've only got a few coppers left." He says, "Bound to roll a winner. Bound to roll a winner." And so the young man, gets up to his feet and comes over there, and he throws in all he's got. He says, "This is all I have," and puts a few copper pieces on the table.
I whisper in Nikki's mind, let's help this guy out.
All right, so I roll again. Oh, let's just take the 7. How about, since we're intentionally doing this, I'll intentionally take that bad roll from the original, the nat 1 plus 6.
Mm-hmm.
Since I rolled so well on that last check.
Well, I would say that if we roll well trying to lose,
Yeah. Okay, there you go. We roll well trying to lose. DM.
Okay, I get it. I'm calling it a success. Okay, so you let him win some money. He takes a pull out of the pool there in the middle, and as soon as he takes it, one of the goblins swipes it up and says, "Now you only owe me 20." And the guy says, kind of nods, is like, "Okay, now I only owe you 20." And he hangs his head back down again. And the goblin just pushes all his money that he just won back into the pool.
Oh, this goblin has to lose his money. Fuck him.
Okay, so his buddy standing next to him has had enough. He says, "You're cheating," he says, and points his finger directly at Icky.
I'd be like, do you want to roll?
Yeah.
Or do you want a new set of dice?
Yeah. Crack will roll this time. And he sets
It'll
up
be
a game. And he insists that you all put up at least 3 gold pieces each against him.
How much have we won so far?
Probably like, I think like 8 gold pieces.
Okay. All right. I'll put up 3 gold. DM, it's a dexterity roll if you're not proficient in it.
Okay. He's just letting the dice roll. He's not trying to perform any tricky sleight of hand, and he loses. He says, "These dice are crap," and he throws them through the portal. Those weren't your dice, right? That was just the table dice.
No. You made me lose my dice whenever we had our stuff taken away.
Okay. The other hobgoblin slaps him upside the head and says, "Look, stupid, now we don't have any dice."
Cards? I glance over at Leopold.
Yes, and I kind of do that thing where I make them jump from one hand to another by bending them.
Oh,
Let's play.
you've got,
Sit down.
yeah, right, cards, yes.
I tell him, Icky, I'm not too good at cards. I'll set
just
this
think
one out.
I just think
I reached into his mind and said, "We're working together on this one."
No, the hobgoblins say, "We don't want to play cards. We don't trust cards. We play dice. You made us lose dice. You go get dice."
All right. I poke my head out the portal.
Okay. It looks back into the feast hall.
All right. Where are the dice?
You don't see them anywhere.
It's like, I poke my head back in. Man, I don't see them anywhere. You're the one that threw them.
Great, now we don't have any dice, and it's all your fault for cheating.
I never cheated.
You cheated, both of them now pointing their finger at you. Cheater, you cheated.
You rolled them yourself.
Crack is getting angry.
Can I roll a persuasion check?
Yeah.
I'm not very good at persuasion. Actually, I'm proficient in it. That's weird.
Try
Not too bad.
to calm the situation here. Is that what that persuasion is?
Yeah, that was what that was.
Okay. All right. You were a pretty charismatic guy when you have to be. You talk the two of them down. No. Crack did throw the dice. It is Crack's fault. And he says, "Well, this is stupid," and the other one agrees, and so they just head out through the portal and disappear, leaving you alone with the cat, the goblin, and the poor downtrodden fellow over in the corner.
The poor downtrodden fellow. I'm gonna give him 1 PP.
Thank you.
And tell him get out of his own luck.
I'm going to keep the goblin distracted while he does that by just kind of chatting him up, so that way he doesn't take it away from him immediately.
Okay. Sure. Thanks, guys. Only 19 gold pieces to go, and then I can get back to my life as normal.
19. That's a platinum.
2.
Yeah, you got that too? He asks.
Well, maybe you could win it in a game of cards, and I'll invite him over to the table. Happy to kind of lose a couple hands of cards to him to get a little information out of him.
He takes the coin that was given to him by one of you, and he says, "But this is all I have now."
You're probably on a lucky streak. I can feel it, my friend.
Okay, he says. He shrugs and puts his money down.
And you, my handsome goblin friend, will you be joining us as well?
Knob no play game. Knob only run game. Keep money.
Make money.
He winks back. I get by.
What is it that you do around here, friend?
You asking the goblin?
Yeah.
Oh, this is it. Knob is game master of Gambling Den.
I was just hanging out here and kind of make sure everything's on the up and up and everything.
That's right.
Change
make
out
sure,
money and that kind of stuff.
Make sure debtors pay, he says, casting his eyes over towards the human who's waiting for the deal.
Yep. I'll use my playing card set skill and bend my powers towards letting this guy win a couple hands.
Okay. All right, that looks like a pass to me. So he wins a gold piece. 2 gold pieces. Well, that'll get me by for a week or so.
Double or nothing. And I just ask him what he been doing and what going back to his regular life would mean if he gets out of debt here.
He's the tanner. My name is Michal, he says. I'm the tanner. I've been coming here a bit too much recently, I suppose. I seem to have lost all my money and now in debt. It gets boring here, you know. You have to have something to do.
Well, I think we could probably get you something to do, friend. Why don't we say, and I just kind of throw the cards on the table. I will flip the goblin the 2 platinum pieces that is owed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say, debt settled. And I'll say to Michal, why don't we talk about maybe some way that you could help us? Come on, let's go for a drink.
Oh, you're too kind. Yes, let's go for a drink. And the goblin just looks down at his coins, starts counting everything, paying no attention to you guys.
Yeah.
So you guys head back with Michal.
Yeah, to the Great Hall.
Yep.
And this will be a good place to make a couple bucks here and there. Probably not enough to buy our way to the next level, but at least we'll have something. Michal, do you, I kind of point out my armor, my studded leather armor. Is this something you could help maybe patch up a little bit?
Yeah, sure, he says. Let me take you to my shop. And so you and the party and Michal leave this chamber, go back to the feast hall, and I'm sure from there you got here when the dinner bell rang from the courtyard, so you can go back to the courtyard after that. And from the courtyard to the tavern, and once inside the tavern, you can use the door in the back. He can use his keys. He has several keys to open up a portal to his shop, which he will take you to, which is somewhere. Let me find that real quick. That's what I need to do. I needed to make a directory of all the rooms. That should be what's in the back of this chapter. I think that's.
Oh, you seem to have a lot of keys. You must have been here for a while, huh?
Yeah, Michal is old blood, he says, as they call it. My father and mother were servants to the king before he came here, before he ascended, or before we ascended. My people, that is, to this place.
So you know the wet nurse?
Yeah, he knows everybody. There we go.
I tell him I'm creating a treat for children, tentatively called milk paste, but I don't think that's going to work. It's going to be very sweet and cold, and I think children will love it. Once it's perfected, maybe you can make the introduction, and we can get this delight to the children.
What's that he says, looking around at his shop in disarray? Not paying much attention to your story about ice cream. He says, oh, look what I've done. I've left so many projects untended. There's much work to do here. I really shouldn't gamble so much, he says, as he walks around the area scratching his head, looking around at everything he's got going on. Whatever's in that cauldron back there is boiling over and frothing, probably.
Unduly confused?
What's that?
Does he look confused in a way that like would suggest that he doesn't remember leaving here going to gamble?
No, he does. He did it of his own volition.
Yeah.
Yeah. The curse of the key, he says. He found a key to the gambling den a while back, and it's just been of no use to him but to get him into trouble and make him leave his chores unattended.
Perhaps we should take that off your hands, my friend. It would be irresponsible of us to allow you to go on like this.
Give me a charisma save.
How about a
persuasion?
persuasion?
Yeah.
Can I help?
Sure.
I think I'm pretty good at persuasion. Let's see here. Yeah.
You're as good as I am.
Yeah, that'll work. He says, you know what? You've gotten me out of my debt, and your solution sounds like a good one. You guys, I've seen you around a good bit. You're regulars now. Why not? He says, and he hands whoever wants it the key to room 220. You can record it that way on your character sheet. That is legit what it is.
All right. Unless anyone else snatches it out of his hand, I will reach out for it slowly and kind of pat him on the shoulder with my other hand and say, you're doing the right thing, friend. And maybe once in a while we can all go there together and just have a nice night of fellowship.
That sounds like a good idea. And
We'll keep you from going too crazy.
He's putting on his mitts so that he can get the lid off of that cauldron back there frothing over. He left that thing boiling earlier today and forgot all about it. It's nighttime, by the way, so the light coming in from outside is absent. Only a couple of torches, I think 3 torches, and the fire light lights the chamber currently, so it's sort of dark in here. He sets that heavy lid off to the side and takes out a stick and starts to stir some things. He'll just make small talk as he works. I never have met the 3 of you formally. He says, well, quite a curious trio you are. He laughs as he stirs. Looks like a bunch of animal fat in that vat around.
Well, we're the opposite of old blood. We're new blood. We find ourselves here either unexpectedly or abandoned here unexpectedly.
Yeah, so you're making your small talk with him, telling him about what you guys do. What was the official story that you guys gave? What's your cover, so to speak?
We don't have any cover, really. We just told him the truth.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I
just left out some key points.
Yep. My thought is if we can get that ice cream to the children eventually and meet the wet nurse, she seems like the kind of character that might be able to get us into the good graces of the king.
The good graces of the king. I believe the good graces of the king have been spent. I don't think there's much good left in that man.
Well, at least enough to let us go on to the next chapter.
Yeah. He'll tell you that he wishes you the best. I don't know if he's got much information to share with you. I think you know a lot about what he knows already. If he's left to wander at the mouth a bit himself, he'll probably start talking about he's just not in good spirits. Things have not been great lately. Of course, his gambling addiction, loss of money, being in debt. And then his roommate is Idonius the weaponsmith, and he's been just really weird over the last few months, and it's getting uncomfortable to even share quarters with him, as he seems to be such a moody man these days. Doesn't say much, and they've known each other for years. Their families have known each other for years here. Oh, another thing about this place is that this young Mishal here, who looks to be no more than 27, is actually like he says he's like over 40 years old, and everyone here ages very slowly. And many, like Luza, for example, of course, is like over 100 years old, and she doesn't look like, but she's in her 40s or something. Most of them have been here for extremely long time. What's that?
She doesn't look a day over 20.
But you want to know how to get in the King's Good Grace. I think the best way, I think it's become the standard expect amongst the servants, is that you can buy your way into the royal court, and that still has to go through the council, get past Oso, and Oso doesn't let anybody do anything anymore. It's like they just don't care about us anymore, he'll lament, as he pulls some hide out of that vat of rendered fat, boiling rendered fat. Start to hang it up.
I wonder who's to blame for that.
He says, well, I think it's that old wizard myself.
Where is that guy hiding these days? We haven't seen anything but a spectral form of him since we got here.
He's up in the, all with the rest of the highfalutin fancies up in the main keep, he says, as he motions out towards the windows. Motions towards these windows, actually.
The main keep. The goal of us all.
And he says, well, it's too late for me to spend the night here working. I guess I should get back to my room. He says, I really do appreciate all the help you guys have given me, though. I don't know how I could ever repay you.
We'll find a way one day. Just pay it forward for now, my friend.
Mm-hmm. He says, are you staying here? There's plenty to be done if you're not sleepy.
If you need a hand, I mean, we can help you.
So he's just like, well, just stir that some. There's some other hides that are still boiling in it. If you know how to clean an otter, there's an otter hanging up over here. And then these hides could still be scraped a little bit. He says, I'm going to go get some sleep for the night. You'll have to find your way back on your own, of course. But you have one key at least now, right?
Absolutely. To be used sparingly, of course.
And
yes,
he bids goodnight and heads down the stairs.
I can definitely help eat this otter.
Well, if that's what you're going to do with the little leftover bits, I mean, that's fine. I say as I stir the big pot.
I think the otter was still whole, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
so fresh.
Skin him and throw the skin in your pot and eat the. We could throw the meat over the fire for a little while if we want.
Yeah. You got the tannery all to yourself now.
All right. Was there a set of steps going up behind here or something?
Yeah, I think it's around the corner.
Yes, there is. Around the corner, there's a set of steps. They winds around that back wall and then comes back up to the front of the room and finally up to this ledge here where it goes through another portal. And again, it is nighttime, so there's no light coming in from the windows. You can see starlight out that window, but these two windows are just black outside. And Icky is at the portal at the top. Are we going
I'm going to
through?
shout up to him from my pot. Where's it go?
T100 will tell us. Not to Icky, but Todd's seen this room before.
So I think Icky actually went through this room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were running after someone.
No. That was definitely the character that got killed. That was definitely I.
Oh, okay. There's a room with a door and another portal at the end of it. It's like a hallway.
I mean, I guess we're staying here tonight. We can always go check it out.
I mean, we could always go back. We still got to eat.
Well, we have this beaver to eat.
I guess we do.
Oh, you guys had gotten into that conversation with Groombeer before you'd officially had your meals for the night?
I thought we went over. Icky tasted the food and we ate.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, fair enough. So if you want a meal, if you want supper, you're going to have to eat this otter then.
Yeah, we already had our daily meal or whatever.
Oh, I do need to know, did you eat in the den hall tonight? It is important.
Yeah, that's what you said. I tasted it.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes, that's correct. All right, so what are you guys doing then?
Yes, putting out some hides, boiling them and hanging them.
Okay, all right, go back to that. Gotcha.
Yeah. But after that, do
wanted...
we want to go explore after that? Or do we
Sure.
want to go?
Sure.
It is a funny side. Everything these guys do together is funny just because, you know, cat guy, goat guy, and snake guy. Cat guy, snake guy, and goat guy doing tanning stuff.
So, a little strange being.
Just learning a trade over here, that's all.
It's always good to learn new skills.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Can't
see
be
a
adventure-
montage of them like going doing all these mundane things in different rooms of the palace.
Well,
might
you gotta
have to
make friends somehow. Gotta ingratiate yourself to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you say that is you guys are moving forward into the corridor that Icky recon?
Yeah, after we finish up doing these this task and eating the otter.
All right. So a month has passed, and you guys have decided to make tonight the midnight prowl night. Sort of just evolved into it, but here we are. Now you're creeping off into chambers of the palace that the servants don't normally go to, and you've made your way into this one. This short hallway is the junction between a pair of portals and a closed door between them. The hallway appears well traveled with an assortment of scrawl marks on its walls.
What do they say?
The first one nearest you there in the heart, it's their names read Green Lady and Rogue, like some lovers graffiti.
What do you think these tally marks are for?
I was just thinking the same thing.
And what's
Looks
up
like
with this
there's a-
block above it?
Brick missing.
Where it's pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
Can I feel around the edge of that brick and kind of see what's going on in there and whether it'll come out or push in further or anything?
Yeah, give me an investigation roll.
That's like,
Um,
yeah, no, it's really
Yeah.
bad.
Nope. You don't find anything. Although I can tell you definitively that it is just an empty block. There is a little bit of debris still left in it. A lot of debris outside of it in the floor here. It's been that's in the floor has been kicked aside. You can definitely tell there's like a worn trail here between these portals. But some of that debris is still left down there. Tally marks count to 15 underneath the hole. And that's really all there is to that. An investigation roll, a better investigation roll wouldn't improve that, unless there was a secret door hidden there, a secret latch or something.
What's up with this door?
That door is what it is. It's got a golden lion's head doorknob. There's a lion theme in this chamber. There's also like two lion heads, like shaped out of the stone of those stone blocks there to either side of the doorway, and as well, of course, the handle. There's two torches. One of them is extinguished. The other is still burning.
I'll go and light that other one with prestidigitation.
Okay.
Is the door locked?
It won't catch like the others do. The
doesn't want to
spark
stay
of
lit?
The prestidigitation will not ignite it into an ever-burning torch like in other chambers of the palace.
I'd like to scope that out a bit further. Like, does it do anything if you like tug on it? Because I want to know why it's not going to light. That bothers me.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll.
Can I help with that?
Yes, you can. You can make your own investigation roll.
Well, that was intimidation. Does it get a roll again?
My bad. Intimidation. Investigation.
Okay. Yeah, so you notice that the torch, the mount on the end of the torch is sort of loose, and it doesn't take but just a little bit of twisting it to realize that it actually screws off, and it's a hollow torch handle. And inside it, there seems to be some rolled up note.
Open it up then. Or who else? Was it me that did that?
That was you.
All right, then I open the note up and I tell him, "Hey, check it out."
What's it say?
It reads in common. I'll just paste it in chat since I'm assuming Icky will read it out loud.
I will keep my eyes out for them. They come through, consider them fleas off your back. If they're any magicians of worth, you will be first to know. Any reservations about my brethren keeping your face around?
Well, we know that Mojik doesn't really like other magicians.
I show the note to my my stone that's around my neck. Yeah, I keep that dragon informed, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We should probably put that back, so.
Yeah, so I roll it up.
Back for that.
I roll it up and I put it back. I try to put it back in the exact same spot and everything that it was in.
Okay. Do that.
I check out the door. Can I open it?
Yeah, you can try to open it. And okay. When you grab the door handle, yeah, you get a dexterity save at DC 20.
God damn. Is there anything I can do to make that less?
What happens is the moment you touch the door handle, you feel this metallic coldness begin to spread down your fingertip, and you know you just should, and your instinct is to pull away. Pull your hand away from it, which is why you have a fleeting second to try to let go of it. Nice. Wow.
Oh!
When you pull away, you look at your fingertip, and there is this fading gold that had spread nearly over your entire fingertip, but it just sort of it fades away, and it just ends up being gold dust that you can kind of roll between your fingers and clear out of your scale print.
My eyes widen. I pick up stones and try to balance it on top of this, or like shove it in the hole of the handle to see if it becomes a piece of gold?
Yes, and no, it doesn't.
Can I put my quarterstaff up against it? Hold on. Does it turn to gold?
No, it doesn't.
I use the quarterstaff and put it in between this little loop here to open up the door.
You can do that, and it opens a portal behind it.
I stick my head through.
D100. Icky, you peer into a familiar chamber.
It's that one that we were in. I was like, guys, we've been in this one before with the key holder. Remember where his grandson or his son was? Where he told us don't touch the cages?
Yep.
Yeah, that's where that leads. For now, anyways.
I'll peek through this one.
All right, give me a roll. So this is going to be really dark. It's dark outside because it's night now. So, so can Leo see in the dark?
Yes.
Okay.
Not magical darkness, just regular darkness.
Okay. All right. So
You also have blind sense.
keep in mind that, of course, that it's nighttime, so the lighting out here looks much different. But you're coming out of that one little portal there. Yep. Doesn't go very much further than there.
Ooh, I pull my head back in. I say, looks like a walkway along the outer wall, not the same one where that wall attacked us, but I think one more wall space over to the right, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, let's go through.
It didn't look like there was any other portals, but yep.
Check that or back to the tannery. Let's keep going.
Okay. Appears to be a dead end for those of you who can see out here in the night. Just a narrow ledge, passing wisp of cloud hang in the air around you.
Those look like door knockers.
Yeah, it looks like two lions. Oh, with the door knockers, yeah.
Be careful of those door knockers. I almost turned to gold.
Use your quarterstaff.
Alright, I put my quarterstaff up against the fucking, that one.
Okay.
Anything?
Okay. So you pull, and of course this is a heavy stone plate, so it takes just a little bit of strength, but as you apply a little bit more pressure, you hear the grinding stone sound, and it basically pulls open a big drawer. It's a little bit tall, so you kind of have to reach over blindly into it if you want to try to find out if there's anything inside of it.
I offer, since Icky's pulling that out, I offer my hands, my fingers interlocked to Leopoldo so he can get up there and look without just digging in there.
Okay. Won't require any checks for that. You guys make a little pyramid, and who's peeking over into it?
Leopoldo.
Okay. Leo, it looks like this looks like it probably should have been a space to keep an urn possibly in. There's no urn in it, but there is a key. It looks like a room key.
I will greedily snatch it up and say, guys, look what I found.
Yeah.
I'll also see if there's any kind of like fake back on the back of the drawer, if there's like a secret compartment back there.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll. Okay. You're not sure. You don't think so.
Yep. Say, looks like a great place to hide stuff. Although you'd have to be able to come back here to retrieve it.
Well, let's try this other one over here. First, let's push this back in. Let's push this back in first.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. And then open the second one, repeat process with the inspection of it. Leopold is hoisted up, and he looks over, and the same thing. He finds another room key hidden in this drawer.
I pull out the second one a little bit more slowly, thinking like, do these belong to people, maybe? Or do you think this is somebody's ill-gotten gains that... Oh, the dragon will tell us if we have to put it back, I suppose.
And didn't you say that that you just saw the keymaker's room? Could we try and make copies and then put them back?
He doesn't even know how to make copies, really.
Yeah. So on the other side here, what is this? Is this where the giants live? And this is on the other side of this. Is this where you meditate then?
But yeah, no, that's definitely where the giants live. So your girlfriend or whatever, the entrance to her room should be over here.
Yeah.
We can go hang out with her.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's night, she probably doesn't sleep there. She probably has her own place, but that would be a safe... I mean, any place is safe for us to go. I think if we want to keep on exploring and testing out these keys for now, we could probably find our way to someplace safe as long as we can see the courtyard. I mean, there's no rule against being out late, right? There's no lights out or anything, right?
I don't think there's a curfew. It's just less likely to get in trouble for wandering if
right. Obviously,
nobody can see us.
Go anywhere. Well, we don't know where we're going to wind up, but I wouldn't stay anywhere that is private.
We don't have a grappling hook or anything, so getting up higher isn't going to be...
Yeah, I have no...
very easy.
I have no equipment except for what I picked up.
I have the butter churn thing, a leaky flask, a gold stein, my arcane focus, a gold bar, a cloak, and my spool of thread.
Yeah, I have a bucket.
All I got.
Got the
bucket.
French press coffee maker and a coffee cup and some clothes.
There we go. That's more like it.
We were... While you were gone, we were talking about where we were based on what we were seeing up there, I think.
Okay. In the course of that conversation, you'll notice a rope hanging out of this narrow window slit here.
Oh.
No, that's worth a shot, too.
That is worth a shot. Are these keys the same or different? Can I tell from just looking at them?
They look typical of the rune keys for this palace. Of course, the notches on the keys are slightly different for each individual key, but they don't look like any special keys or anything like that. They've seen
But they're not
less
the
use
same.
than the other keys. They seem a little more corroded, rusty.
And if I put them in my inventory, 2 keys from room.
Oh, this is room 289.
289. Oh yeah, right. Of course, I rolled the 89, so I should have known that. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
I think our tentative plan was to maybe go back 2 rooms to the closest door and try these keys out.
But now that we've noticed this rope on the way, when we turned around,
and
we should scope it.
A light comes to that window. A flickering light can be seen to grow from inside the window, and you hear the sound of goblin voices chattering, and hear the creaking of old boards coming from within that window as well.
Let's try to hide in the shadow.
Try to hide in the shadow?
Yeah, just while that light kind of comes out, I just try to kind of hide a little bit so they don't see us if they're looking out the window.
Okay. Yeah, candlelight has come to this window, and the sound of goblin voices and creaking wood can be heard from within the tower.
When you all want to sneak up there and scope it out, I'm not quite stealthy enough to pull that off.
I think I could. I have a feeling this might be the room with the mill, with the ogre and the Etten in the mill. But yeah, I can. I'm happy to try to climb up there.
Okay. If you're not in armor, acrobatics on 6. Or athletics on 6, either one, I guess, would really work. Actually, you're climbing. It has to be athletics. Sorry.
Is he just climbing?
Yeah, he's got rope and wall. And he climbs up and is able to peek into the window. And it looks into a barracks similar to the one that you guys sleep in. The room is dimly lit with only a few candles scattered about, but there seems to be a pack of goblins. They're sort of eating something in the middle of the room, but one is climbing up into his bunk, which is right here by the window. You may be spotted if you don't move soon.
Yeah, I'll kind of right before I duck down. What is this rope tied off to? Like a bedpost or a?
Yeah, it's exactly what it's tied off to, is to a bedpost.
Just trying to look around. I'll drop myself a little bit, but I'm trying to consider if this is a way they come in and out regularly, or if maybe one of them tried to sneak out amongst the rest. If I could do like a quick count of goblins and beds to see if there's any difference before I drop.
Yes, that would be. Yeah, give me a perception roll. You'd have to be trying to. You
Yep.
only have a brief moment before the goblin is going to climb up into
Nope.
the bunk.
Okay. Not enough time.
No, not enough time to take it all in, especially dimly lit.
I'll drop down. I'll let everyone know it's a barracks of some kind, similar to ours. Looks like it's all goblins. They seem to be eating something in the middle of the room, and one of them either is offended or full because they've left the table and they're going to bed. But I can't understand what they're saying.
A moment
Alright,
later,
then.
a heavier, gruffer voice will be heard, and this will all send the goblins scattering. All of it in Orcish and Goblin.
Well, back to the tannery.
Yeah. Think we can let these goblins kind of handle their own business for now.
Okay, back to the tanner. Which, remind me of how you get back to the tanner?
We go straight.
Yep, through
Just
this
keep on going
room,
straight.
Gotcha.
past the door, straight on through, and then at the bottom of the tanner's room, there was a portal that we came in that. Well, on the other side was the door to the bar, to the tavern, on the other side of this.
Yeah, he used a key to get us here, so I didn't know if that might give us an opportunity to get one more chance to find something else.
Yeah, if we go back through this, do we roll again, or do we go back to the room with the door on the other side of it? That was the question I think we had.
Not sure.
All right. Well, Leopold thinks it's the tavern as he walks through.
Okay. And indeed it is.
All
Is
right.
that where you guys are going next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. There's a door there.
We finished up our tasks, right?
I mean, I'd probably not completely, but I mean, you know, it's like, when is the tanner's work ever done? There's always something to be done. You guys ate the otter, or did you skin it?
We skinned it and then ate it.
Oh,
Yeah, skinned it through the skin in the pot to show that we did some work, and then we ate somewhat cooked.
okay. Okay.
So this is where we This was the furthest back we can trace, I think, right, guys?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, in the back. Use the door in the back. That's what all the locals do. All right, so it's getting late in the tavern, so the crowd's thinning out.
Who's this character right here?
The knife thrower isn't even there anymore. It's getting down to just a couple of orcs and the tavern keeper.
Okay. Go ahead and order me around.
Yeah, last call, says the grim Nonus. And he serves you guys up some drinks, a few coppers apiece.
You said a few coppers?
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Okay, 2 coppers it is.
Alrighty. I push my mug to Icky to taste before I start drinking.
I'm starting to kind of like this job. If I can take a swig of it and like swish it around in my mouth.
Nope, poisoned.
I should start saying that. I'll take.
With a mouthful. Oh, yeah, I guess me too. Too late, but you can have a sip of mine.
I did the same with his. Still tastes like piss water.
Yep.
I mean, if the DM will allow it. I don't know if you want me to roll or anything.
That's fine. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, you guys are sitting there at that table nearest the tavern keeper, making a few jokes. Like the only other occupants are these orcs down here, this end of the tavern, of course, Nonus himself, who is about to close it down for the night.
Nonus, I was like, any word on anything lately? Anything interesting happen?
He says there are dwarves in the King's Keep now, I hear. He says as he's mopping up the last off of the counter. Last remnants.
Dwarves. Huh.
New guests of the king?
I suppose. He's usually a little bit kinder than this, but tonight he seems to be in a bit of a mood, and he looks up and he says, "What is it to you?"
Oh, we were just seeing how your day was. I mean, you work long, hard days here, and you look tired.
Word is you ask a lot of questions, as he throws his rag over into an unseen bucket behind the bar.
Tell him I'm like, well, mostly for work. I've come here plenty of times. You should know this.
Yes, of course. He fetches some keys off the wall, and he makes his way out through a little mostly unnoticed door here over in this corner. It's the only way in and out from behind the bar is through a little door over here. He says, well, those fellows back there, he says, nodding towards the orcs that remain at the bar, will keep an eye on the place. Good night to you all. And he unlocks the door to reveal a new portal and heads through it, closing the door behind him.
That was some pretty odd behavior.
And he's usually a little bit nicer. Not so nearly mad at me for asking questions. I do ask a lot of questions, but what can you do?
Was it sorry, DM, was it a dream that I had, or did we all see the face of the barkeeper in the wall?
Yeah, I think that was something that we covered already in your recovery in chains, is remembering his face in the wall.
Something's unsettling. We might have to revisit this. But should we test out one of these keys? And I hold up both keys.
I guess we can try them on the front door. I mean, the worst will just think we're trying to go to bed.
Yeah. If you guys kind of stand behind me shielding me a little bit, I can just pull a key out nonchalantly and go in there like it's our business.
What was the room number for that room those keys came from again?
Yes,
289.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So, you use the key on the door, open it up, reveal the new portal, stick your head in.
Yep.
All right. So, it looks into a great hall. A great hall is set with a table with food all over it, sort of in a disarray. I actually probably, I know what I can do. I can just, that's why I keep a spare page. Give me one moment.
No problem. Sorry, I did a roll there and forgot keys bring you somewhere specific.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was afraid that was the DM rolling.
Here with the rooms.
This will take me just a second to navigate to. But yeah, it's a large hall set for a feast that's already looks like it's been halfway had. The room, some of the tables a bit in disarray. The thing that stands out is before a big hearth at the back of the hall, you can see the spectral forms of 4 figures who seem to be making toast. One of them is playing a lute. Another one is a dancer.
Pull my head back and say, we may have found a haunted room. Spirits from perhaps might be able to answer some questions about the history of this place.
Maybe.
Do we want to try the other key before we ask?
Yeah. I think we should.
Okay, I'm going to abandon that search for that image then.
Yep.
Trying the other one out. Go back to it if we have to. This time, you look into a tall crypt with 2 burning torches. On a table, on an altar-like table, is a shroud over skeletal remains. And there are a couple of, like a little niche in the wall and another niche that seems to have a cabinet door over it. And cobwebs and, yeah, just dusty old crypt.
And any visible portals or dead end?
Dead end.
I pull my head out and report that. It doesn't seem like, I mean, we can go in, but I don't know that there'll be too much that wouldn't get us into trouble and we'll have to come back this way. Unless we sleep there.
Were there portals in the first room?
Well,
Yes,
let's
there
go
were.
ahead and head on back, and we'll revisit it in the morning. I mean, it's not like this door is going anywhere.
True.
Or the ghosts?
The keys will always bring us back. So, yeah, we can deal with this anytime we want.
Yep. Out of character, I really don't want to catch a level of exhaustion.
No
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah, let's go to bed.
Okay, so from here you'll just have to go back out into the dark courtyard and climb up the rope that you leave on the wall by Tigard's watch, and then hoist yourselves up onto the roof.
You know what?
And-
While we're there,
Yeah.
is Tigard there?
Nope, his watch is over. That wall is empty, but Velocendim is there, and he's looking over the tower at you as you come up.
I'd be like, I wave at him, and I'm like, hey, that I point to where, because you could see him from, I remember that map where that wall is, right?
Yeah, I'm
swallowing
taking
me?
y'all to it right now.
And I point down, I'm like, what's with that wall?
And I can
That's
relay
flow.
that mentally so we don't have to shout.
Well,
Okay.
normally whenever I tell him A, he talks to me telepathically.
I'm gonna take us out to the big overview here. Just so you can clarify with me, I'm not sure if I know what you're talking about. You guys are over here on this wall. Velocin up here on this tower. What wall were you asking him about?
So you could, in the picture, from the whenever I got attacked by that wall, you could see velocity. I'm trying to ask about the face because Leopold, didn't you relay that to us?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. And so I was just going to ask him about it.
I don't think it's on this side.
If DM will show us the picture of the.
Yeah,
the-
I'm thinking back to that, and I don't believe you can. And maybe I did mention seeing him, or maybe I just mentioned seeing the direction you thought he would be in. Here we go. Back to that. This is the wall where you had to fight that thing. And so no, I don't think that you actually
thought it was.
Velocin.
No, because this is the where the giants are, which means we were just over on the other side a second ago.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you couldn't ask him about it, but maybe just not the way you phrased the question.
Yeah. I point to where it was, the wall was.
Mm-hmm. Right now, I think you guys are confused on your direction, so Velocin will just kind of be like, I don't understand what you're talking about. You saw a face of the tavern keeper?
Yes, Leopold did. Leopoldo. Sorry.
Yeah, there was a. It seemed like the wall kind of animated itself and attacked us, and at a certain point, I lower my voice, saw some faces, and well, one of them was the innkeeper, and he was acting very suspiciously.
Today.
He'll telepathically tell you all. He says, You speak of the Wailing Wall. Troubling it is, and I do not completely understand it, nor do I wish to. You are asking dangerous questions. You probably know this, of course. But I suggest you all just find a nice place to sleep for the night.
Okay.
Good advice.
And as we keep climbing back into our tower, I'll mentally message my compatriots and say, dangerous and forbidden is awfully interesting. Now I'm just even more curious.
Yeah, now I don't understand. Like, how would this be forbidden? A tavern keeper's face, and the tavern keeper's still there. Whenever it pulls you in, as y'all could clearly tell whenever it tried to kill me.
Do you guys know what your barracks room number is? I think I've forgotten what it is. Oh, that's what it is. I know what it is. Okay, here we go. You guys settle back in for the night, waking up Neb and Paulston as you come down the creaky ladder into the chamber. Late night, huh?
Yeah, we were helping out the leather maker.
Michal, he's a nice guy.
Oh yeah, Michal. He is a nice guy. Neb agrees. You know, I've had their names switched. It's actually, he's supposed to be Paulston and the boy's supposed to be Neb, but I'm just going with it at this point. He's Neb and the boy's Paulston. I'm trying to see if somebody else sleeps up here. No. Oh yeah, that's right. I think you have a few goblins that share the lower barracks with you. Anyway, occasionally, just like there's certain ones that just don't really have a home. They just wander from place to place and sleep wherever they fall. Tonight there are two goblins in the bunks downstairs.
Have we seen them before?
What's that?
Have we seen them before?
You can't tell them apart.
No.
Yep, they're snoring it up when you get down to your bunks. And settle in for the night, I suppose. Are you are here to rest, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Middle of the night, or not actually, before some of you have even gone to sleep, let me get some Constitution poison saves again. DC 16.
So it's in the bed.
Ugh.
Fuck.
We got some fails. Yeah. Yep, that is fails. I'm gonna do one set of damage for everybody. This is what you both take. Oh my god! 41 points of damage.
Cool. I died in my sleep.
96.
I almost died the true death.
Oh.
Yes, it is 96 damage on that poison.
Once again, Leopoldo gets into his bed and starts. I think there's horsehair in this.
Pull him out of the bed.
And I lose consciousness.
I do mouth to lizard mouth resuscitation.
Okay. Did anybody outright die, or we still got 2 living characters?
Oh, I outright died. I only have 37 hit points.
37. So you're neg.
It'd have to double. It'd have to double to outright die.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not outright dead. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I
It'd have to.
I'm not sleeping unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to be double your maximum health points, I believe, to outright die.
So
Yep.
Leopoldo and Balthazar both basically just negative right now and making death saves as Icky tries to stabilize them.
Tell him,
And-
Keymaker,
What
because
is
we
it?
know about the healer, right?
Yeah, everybody's gonna wake up. The goblins are like, shut up, until they realize that the situation is not going away as Icky's frantically trying to save his 2 companions, who have stopped convulsing and are now just laying there limp. So here's how do we do this? Do they make the death saves? Is that normally how it goes, or just stabilization?
Yes, they would. Well, I mean, I could try to stabilize them. Hold on. To administer first aid.
Okay, gotcha.
So, do you want me to do that?
Yeah, do you have a healer's kit or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
You took my healer's kit away from me.
Gotcha.
I always buy from the book a healer's kit.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna leave it to the death saves on this one.
All right, well, I'm going to yell to the Keymaker. Be like, Keymaker, what's the healer's name, DM?
The half-orc witch, Halabusa.
Yeah. Do you have a key to get to Halabusa?
Hey, realizing the severity of the situation, he begins to scramble around. He says he doesn't think so, but maybe he does.
Or the other healer? Because you said there's a healer and like a witch, another one that helps out. There's 2 of them.
There's an apothecary, and then there's the half-orc healer.
Or the apothecary to help. Maybe we could get something to help them.
Yeah, let me see. Let's see if Neb can help out here. Yeah, I think so. I think he can. He'll at least try to do what he can. Is anybody hanging in the balance yet? Balthazar has passed 1 and failed 1. Leo has passed 1 and failed 1. Okay.
No, I passed 2.
He passed 2.
Okay. Passed 2. And, alright. Well, that will buy some time then. He'll dash out and try to get to his shop and find a key. He'll come back in a couple of minutes, which is 2 more death saves.
Oof.
Okay.
Or
come back.
total.
Are you guys both down to your last saves now?
Yeah.
If I roll a 1, I'll die, but if I succeed, I will stabilize.
And what-
Samesies.
Same.
We both have one failure
Okay.
and
Yeah.
2 successes.
Is there anything that my character can do to help stave off? Maybe their death save, if anything?
I'm trying.
Because I'm over there trying to resuscitate them the whole time.
Suck out the poison.
We will let the goblins save the day. One of them's got a handful of roots that he's been pulling from the garden. He'll stuff that down the mouth of one of the two characters. And with a 50-50 chance it has any effect. God, the best that can happen is, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to make it a D4. He'll try to administer his concoction of herbs and dirt and dung, and that one won't be any effective. Neither one of them are effective on them. So both of you make your death saves. As Neb returns with the key, they're trying to hoist the bodies of the two out of the chamber up the ladder. Oh no, Leo died.
No, he still has one more failure to go. He's 2 and 2.
Oh, he's 2 and 2. Okay, but Balthazar is okay.
Stabilized.
Okay, Balthazar is stabilized. Okay. That will give a round for them to get Leo out onto the rooftop, and I hope the dragon can help. Man, he has got nothing in the way of health or healing. So, okay, Leo, last save. They can't get you to the healer in time.
Here goes.
Oh.
God. This beer is terrible.
It's terrible. I'm sorry. Maybe there's a shot at resurrection not far away. I think there's a few options in this chapter. Otherwise, you might want to go ahead and make up another character just in case.
Okay. All right.
So you guys finally get through to the witch after dragging Leo down ledges and you get her to the feet of this old half-orc. I'll just flip through. But unfortunately it would be too late. You're all in this little small chamber, just barely big enough to hold like the 4 or 5 of you that made it here with Leo's body. There we go.
I'd bring Balthazar along.
What's that?
Balthazar is just is unconscious.
That's right.
He's sitting at 0. I'd bring his body along too.
You're all in this chamber, or at least Icky, Leo, and Icky is awake, and Neb is right next to him. And the witch is none too pleased to see all of you burst into her chamber, and she's busy churning a bucket full of clothes. She'll probably be the one to realize that it's too late for the poor limp cat here, and tell you that there's nothing that she can do. Well, I never enjoy it when a character dies, but without risk, the game kind of loses its effect, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
What are we going to do? How are we going to deal with this situation? You guys have spent a good bit of time together, a little trio, a team here, working together against the evil forces in this place. You've had a month to get to know each other, and with the nature of this place, you probably bonded pretty well, since you can't hardly trust anybody else. So Leo's death may be quite tragic to the other two.
Tell her, is there anything you can do to help, though?
What would she suggest?
I would ask questions too, but I'm unconscious.
She says you're the one that helped. You're You're the ones that helped Dirk and Tidia, aren't you?
Yes.
I should be wearing Dirk's cloak too. Actually, I probably took it off when I was asleep. When I went to sleep.
Yes. How very fortunate of you to be there to help them with their troubles, she says, kind of under her breath. She says, there is nothing we can do with him, with your companion for now. But this is where the DM needs to pause the game and look at his resources for a minute. Yeah, you know what? She says that I think I know what she's going to do. I think she's probably just going to say that she will look deep into the chambers to see if she can find some help for your friend, but she will find you when she has an answer, and for the time being you should put his body in a safe place.
In a safe place? Would it be alright? Hey, Balthazar, let's go put it in that chest.
And also be prepared.
She do anything to revive me, or am I still unconscious?
She doesn't have. I think she probably has something that can. Can you do some minor healing with a healer's kit?
Yes.
She could do whatever you can do with a healer's kit.
What it is healer's kit, unless you have the feature healer.
Mm-hmm.
Healer's kit will will stabilize you.
Yeah,
and
no need for a medicine check or anything. You're just stabilized.
Yeah, and if you have the if she has a healer proficiency.
If it's the healer feat, then it's like 2d6 plus one of their hit dice.
What level do you need to be to get the feat?
The feat it's a. So do you know in 5e you're able to take feats instead of your ability score increases, right?
Yeah, so it's at like third, isn't it?
Fourth.
Okay.
Or you could be a human variant and take it at first level.
Yeah, she's got the healing proficiency or the feat, so she could do that. She could probably heal him 2d6 hit points if that's what it does.
Woohoo.
Or in the case of someone who is negative, I would say just brings them to 1 hit point, which makes him conscious again.
Well, that's what it is. For the healer feat, when you use a healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature, that creature also regains 1 hit point. If he already stabilized himself, though, so it would be 1d6 plus 4, plus the maximum number of their hit die. Here, I'll show you, DM. Because I love having it, this feat for any healer that I have. That way it saves me from blowing through spell slots.
Okay. Let's call it 13 hit points then.
Sure.
13. And for that, she will charge 2 platinum coins.
Platinum coins for healing.
Mm-hmm. Her services do not come for free, she will sternly tell you.
Well, I will drowsily hand her 2 platinum out of my bag. And then
this is quite disheartening to Neb. He says, I like the little kitty cat. And he'll try to help get Neb's body out of here.
Neb, I'm like, Neb, do you know anywhere we could put him?
Somewhere cold so his body doesn't start to decompose?
The ice house.
The ghost of Leopoldo's like, where I was making my ice cream in the ice cream in the ice house.
Yeah, actually, he will eventually find his way. Tomorrow morning, he says. Tomorrow morning, let's get up and deal with this in the morning. And for the time being, just takes the body of Leopold back to the barracks. And then from there, you guys can get some help. Neb doesn't have a key to it, but he'll eventually find someone who does. And here's where you can stash Leo at.
Well, so much for you tasting our food, Icky.
I'm kind of wondering now, because DM didn't have me roll for it at all.
I didn't know you could.
Kind of thinking, yeah, that would be an investigation check. That's why I kept on asking.
Gotcha. I was just thinking, like, if the poison had an effect on you at that time, you would detect it. But if it had a delayed response, then you wouldn't know if it was poison or not until the time of it occurring. But so anybody can be a poison tester. Is that right?
Basically, but the difference was is I'm immune to poison, so it was safe for me to test it.
Gotcha. Well, I would love to give any chance I could to keep a character from dying. Okay, let's see. Well, let's give it an investigation roll, and at least in that case, I will. I'll try to be a little bit more favorable in getting his resurrection somehow. So give me an investigation roll. All right, I don't think that would have done it. Okay. So Leo is stored here for the time being.
Brought me back to the place I belong. My ice cream shop.
Okay. I got it. I forgot about this room. You guys want to just fast forward to trying to get Leo resurrected?
Or do you
want to if we can, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and bring him back if at all possible.
Let me find it. I forgot about this one room. Okay, so then a couple of days later, you guys have kind of been moping around, low spirits. Back in the Undercroft Feast Hall one night, Icky, are you still tasting for poison?
Yeah. Might as well.
Okay.
You want me to investigate?
Yes, give me an investigation roll.
Oh, sorry, wrong one.
All right. As you were tasting the food that night, you detect this taste. You noticed it before, but just hadn't quite placed what the taste of the poison was. But you remember tasting it that night before everyone was poisoned last time, before Leo was poisoned 2 nights ago. And you taste it in the food again tonight, in the gruel that's Balthazar is about to eat.
I tell him, don't eat that.
Who served us this food?
A couple of goblins set the tables, bring out the food for everyone. I think, so let me think about it. Let's think about how this poisoning gets done. And give me a perception roll.
Me? Sure. It's not even great. That's not terrible.
Can I help him? DM?
Yes.
Or do you want me to just roll my own?
I think you should just roll your own.
Investigation or perception? I forget.
This is perception.
1 less. Oh!
It's alright. I'm keeping the roll I originally made. I'm just looking to see what the modifier is.
Plus 10?
Jeez.
God.
So I had a 17. So neither of you noticed. Yep, couple of goblins. Couple of goblins brought you your food. They brought out, they fill all these wooden bowls with gruel out of this big pot and bring it out and bring it over to everybody's tables and just kind of. So you're like, so are they serving food poison to everybody or what? Because it seems like you were, there's, it just came from a communal pot of gruel.
Is there anybody that I know that's there?
Is there anybody you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's quite a few.
That I'm friends with?
Yeah, there's Grumbeer, the big ogre. There's a couple of goblins. You keep forgetting their names.
I asked one of them, hey, let me taste your stuff real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Get your own. The Grumbeer says, "No, these are the goblins. The goblins are probably scared of you, so they probably just give you the bowl over and let you taste their food. And there's no poison in theirs."
So I relay that to Balthazar.
The two goblins. I was going to say the two goblins that put all the food out on the tables have now finally gotten their own two bowls and have gone sit down at a table to eat theirs as well.
I relayed to like one of the goblins what was going on, why I was asking to taste it. Somebody keeps on trying to poison us.
I want to walk over to the goblin's table that served me my food, and I want to pick up their bowl and put my bowl down in front of them.
That's your bowl, they say, and push it back to you.
Eat it.
I don't want to get in trouble. That's your bowl.
You need to eat it. What are you going to get in trouble for?
I don't know. That man said we had to give you those two bowls.
Which man?
They look around the tavern and, he's gone. And shrug.
And I'm gonna speak directly into his mind and say, "Tell me what he looked like now."
Well, and
I'm gonna flare my eyes with prestidigitation.
They describe a human with a black mustache and goatee, wearing a robe, or wearing a cloak and common clothes. They've never seen him before, but humans are always right, or at least that's what Thrumdak says, and points towards some orc.
Well, if he told you to do it this time, who told you to do it last time?
Good question. Well, last time it wasn't gruel that you were poisoned with. It would have been something else. How are they slipping you this food that's poisoned? We know how they did it just then. How did they do it before? So last time the chef said that there were two plates prepared especially for you guys.
The chef said.
What's that?
Did the chef tell you the time before too?
They don't remember, and you don't think they were even the ones that served you the time before.
And then I look at them both, and I speak to their minds. I say, "Speak of this to anybody, and I will come back for you."
Yep. That night, Hayabusa comes into the feast hall. I guess you guys don't eat the food, or at least Balthazar doesn't. Icky can probably eat his just fine.
Oh, I ate that other goblin's food, the food I just took from him.
Okay. The goblin's left sadly with the food that you gave to him, which he eats. We'll see what happens to him later. Anyway, Hayabusa comes in and she says that she believes she can help you if you would like to come and speak with her privately.
Gladly.
Okay. All right, so she takes you back to her chamber.
Ooh.
And she says that to to give your friend a second shot at life will cost you dearly. What have you to offer, Halabusa? She says.
Have this gold bar.
What about you? She says, looking towards the serpent. What do you have?
A bunch of shiny nails.
No thanks.
And we're gonna explain to her that, you know, we had everything taken from us. We were left with nothing, and now somebody's poisoning us at every meal.
Yes. Poison, the work of assassins. Halabusa has
Gee.
heard that there are assassins here. Never has seen one, though.
Do you know of a man with a human with a black mustache and goatee?
They all look alike to her.
Humans do.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. They all look the same. Don't get it.
She says, so this gold bar, then, that's all you have? That's all the wealth you two pity
Have a few
dungeoneers?
platinum.
Oh, platinum? That'd be nice. That'd be nice. She takes she gets a little, some folded laundry there, and she kind of holds it out like a pillow for you to dump your treasures onto.
It's all Leopoldo's wealth.
Okay.
Yeah. What does Leopoldo have?
Well, it looks like he's got a good
let's-
Hat.
I see it in the chat here. So that with the gold bar is sufficient. She'll hide it all in one of her skulls.
We're gonna keep all Leopoldo's stuff. Just give her all the gold.
Okay.
We don't want to give up those keys.
Okay.
We're not gonna tell her about keys.
All right. That will do it. And so she says that she can't help get you there, but she says there is a place. There's a scroll hidden in a deep passageway in the sewers of this place, and it contains life-giving magic on it. If you can find it, she says, if you can find the chamber where the great pit is, where all the waters of this place drain into, she follow the furthest passageway, follow the furthest drain into that pit as far as you can until you find a hidden vase in that passageway. On it, you'll find the scroll that you need to save your friend, if you can find it in time. If there's still time left, anyway, she says. And that's all she's got. But thank you very much for doing business with her, and good luck on your journey.
Balthazar. Didn't you
Yeah.
have the scrolls still? Did any of them say anything?
Everything was taken from me. I don't have scrolls anymore.
He didn't have this scroll, I know that. So, that's the best I can do. I combed these pages of this chapter. I was like, is there a way to bring a character back from death? And then I found one way on it. And it's a little bit of a side quest if you can find it. And since it will probably require a game session, Leo, do you think you want to roll up another character just to have as a backup and run him as a companion to them?
Yeah, happy to do so.
Okay. I think that's probably where we're at then. Let's call it a night, get back together next week, and see if you guys can find the secret scroll. What's the limitation? What's the time limit on resurrecting or raising Leo?
Depends on the spell.
Okay. All right.
Because if it's Revivify, 10 minutes.
You got 10 minutes. Okay. But if
If
it's
it's
higher
just-
level magic,
True resurrection, though, it might be a year, right?
True Resurrection, I think, is as long. Hang on, find it. I got it right
About
here.
200 years.
Something like that.
Yeah.
let me look it up. Let's see. Okay. I see what the time limit is. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Resurrection would be a century. So, That'll give you some time.
Nice.
So it's doable.
Yeah,
It's doable. We can get Leo back into the game if you guys can get lucky on the next game session. I like it. At least there's a chance, right?
Yep. So DM, should I create a 5th level character or?
Yeah, 5th level sounds good. You know this place pretty well. You know, I mean, anybody really could pop in out of nowhere.
Yep. I'll come up with a backstory for next week in case we have to keep on using this character. Otherwise, I'll just play him for the week and we can absorb him into the castle.
Yeah, right. Where he can show back up later if necessary.
Yeah. As he could be a villain later on.
All right, guys. Sorry about the
Cool.
character death, but good game.
Yeah, that's
it happens.
what a dice game is all about.
That's right.
So, cool. All right, guys. See you next week.
Yep.
Alrighty, y'all have a good one.
Yep.
All right. See you guys.